Number 10, Trevor Carabin. Number 1, Alessio Carbone. Number 8, Terrence Foster. Number 16, George Gamas. Number 5, Christopher Molino. Number 12, Jacob Palacuna. Number 6, Vasily Papadopoulos. Number 9, Sasha Pekalevsky. Number 11, Xavier Rimple. And number 19, Justin Zhang. The coach is Chimpa, and the assistant coach is Felipe Bento. And now the lineup for the home team, the Richmond Hill Raiders. Number 11, John Dimitri. Number 10, Robert Pikurov. Number 31, Ali Karimi. Number 7, Ariel Shandon. Number 92, Nathan Hedwell. Number 3, Christopher Wong. Number 1, Daniel Jamaloff. Number 4, Alejandro Salvatore. Number 22, Lucas Tari. Number 41, William Wright. Number 19, Vasily Cortis. And number 12, Michael Hanley. The coach is Irvin Salvatore, and the assistant coach is George Cortis. And manager Shannon Tucker-Vaniak, and assistant Donald Ippolito. And now, introducing our match officials who are representing the Ontario Futsal Cup Final. First referee, John Glahos. And second referee, John Elwin. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Hello everyone and good afternoon to the Seneca College in North York, Ontario for this boys under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup Final. We're here at the Ontario Soccer Summit presented by Respect in Sport. Visit www.respectinsport.com for more information. What's been a very exciting weekend here at the Seneca College. It's going to be wrapped up with this very exciting boys under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup Final. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Martin Ohms, here ready to get this match underway as we're going to be watching the Unionville Milliken Strikers in red taking on the Richmond Hill Raiders on the green. Both these two teams had very exciting routes to get to this finals position. We'll talk more about that as the game progresses, but we're just going to give you guys a little bit of background onto the rules of futsal if you're a little bit unfamiliar with it. We're going to be playing two 25-minute halves, so after the 50 minutes, if the game does remain tied, we go straight to kicks from the penalty spot. the area on the field. Look for the yellow lines around the field here on your live stream at home. Those are going to be your boundary lines. Each team is allowed 5 fouls in each half, where the 6th foul results in a kick from the second penalty mark. So if you're familiar with handball, you'll be very familiar. It's similar to that type of penalty kick. Teams will take the field as the referees get ready to go underway. Your referees are John Vlahos and John Elwin. It'll be the strikers starting off with the ball. They'll be in the red going from your left to your right on your screens back at home. And the Raiders are in the green and black. They'll be going from your right to your left as action's just about to get underway here with the strikers. And it's going to be waiting for it is Rimpo waiting for it. They came here to this final by defeating London AGFC in the semifinal here earlier this afternoon, while the Richmond Hill Raiders defeated London Athletic 5-3, and there's very exciting games on both sides, and we're ready to see these two teams get underway here at this Seneca College. Ball gets played on the far side of the court, and the Raiders are able to intercept. They're going to try and bring it all the way back, keeping it in play there. Just for a second there was Tari, and not much, as it's going to be the strikers' ball. Rimpo, and that's one of the advantages here in futsal. You have 3 seconds to put that ball in play. Rimpo took too long, and it's going to be a turnover going back to the Raiders. That pass there from Padwell is a little bit too strong to get back to his defender, Tari, and it's going to go for the strikers' ball with Foster in the far corner of the court. These strikers coming in through the group stage defeated Wexford 5-3 for tying London Athletic, who Richmond Hill just beat in that semifinal match, as that shot just goes wide from the point before defeating the Toronto Futsal Club in their final group stage match. Keep an eye on those strikers. They like to get in behind the defense. They're going to be attacking Richmond Hill. So if you're looking for a goal kick, the ball gets played right into the goalie's hand, and he gets to throw it in, roll it in, back in play. And he has 3 seconds to do that as well, as the Raiders are trying to come the other way. That pass trying to find Karimi up top, a little bit too far ahead of him. And it's going to go out for Carbona in goal for the strikers. He's going to roll it down on the near side for Papadopoulos, trying to give it over to his defender. He's going to switch it now over to Rimple. Rimple's trying to see if he has anything. Gives it back to Papadopoulos, and now they're going to spread the court out wide, see if they can make a run in the middle. Papadopoulos tries to cross that one in. That one gets blocked by Tari, and the Raiders are going to try and settle it down to their own. Tari gives it back to his defensive partner as they try to touch up. That pass coming in from check that, Prekirioff couldn't find his man, and here come the strikers the other way. Rimple down to Foster over on the far side. Back to Rimple. Rimple tries to go with the left-footed strike. He just goes wide over the near side. Past the goalkeeper, Daniel Jamiloff, in goal for the Raiders. The Raiders had a very interesting route to get in here. In their preliminary match to qualify for this final championship, they tied Dixie 1-1 and won 2-1 on kicks from the penalty spot. And wasn't a very exciting one. And in their group stage match, they tied Weston to start it out, but then took home victories against London AGFC and Burlington to get that top place in their group. Foster plays it down the far side to try to get it back to Foster. That gets intercepted by Karimi. Karimi's under a ton of pressure. Turns over, and Foster gets the opening goal! Karimi won the ball in his own end, just couldn't get rid of the pressure, and Foster made him pay. He won the ball right back off Karimi and fired a hard drive just past the outstretched arm of Jamiloff, and an early goal coming in for the strikers as they lead 1-0 from that goal coming in from Terrace Foster. Raiders trying to see if they can respond there with Prekirioff, as the referee had a little disagreement, and it's going to be a striker's ball as he rolls it in now for Foster, the goal scorer. He's going to pass it off to Papadopoulos. Now it goes right back in for Foster. Foster has Rimple coming down the near side. He'll give that pass right to him. Rimple trying to see if he can play that ball back into Foster, but Karimi's forcing him back, and he gives it back to Papadopoulos. He finds Foster now. Foster trying to play it back to Papadopoulos. A little bit of disagreement between the two players, but Rimple does well to keep that one in play. 4 minutes into this opening half here in the Boys Under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup Final, and it's the Unionville Milliken Strikers leading 1-0 over the Richmond Hill Raiders. Foster with a great ball coming in, and Molino couldn't control that, and that's what we were talking about at the beginning of the game. They look for those defenders to constantly try to sneak in behind the defenders and make those outside runs, and right there, Richmond Hill Raiders almost got caught on that one. Here comes Karimi. Gives it back now to Tari. Prekirioff. He's going to try to pass it off to Karimi. Couldn't find him, and it goes back down to Tari. Pedwell. In for Karimi once again. The Raiders are just trying to slow the pace down. A little bit too frantic for their liking as that pass tried to get forced through the middle. Couldn't find it, but they resume control. There's that cross-court pass, and it finds his way for Pedwell, who was wide in front of the goal. As the strikers were able to block that centering pass, but it fell right to the foot of Pedwell, but he just couldn't find the goal there of Carbone. Foster can't keep that one in play as it just goes over the far touchline. It's going to be a kick just around the half-court line. Ball gets played in short and back now. Tari to Pekuriev. Touches it back to Tari. Strikers are playing about a half-court press now, sitting back in their own half, waiting for the Raiders to come at them. They're very thankful just to sit back and see if they can find a way to get through the Strikers' defense. Pedwell can't find anything, tries to force it down the middle again. The Strikers are just closing down that middle, holding their shape very well as the Raiders trying to see if they can split the D, but haven't been successful so far. Here come the Raiders the other way. There's Karimi. He's got a man in front of Tari, but that pass goes in behind him, and it will go out the other side for a kick. Good pressure coming in from the Raiders. Keep an eye on that counterattack from them. A lot of speed up top. Trying to find Foster in the middle. Intercepted. Pekuriev tried to give a good ride on that one. Couldn't find the goal, but some good power coming in behind. Carbone has the short. He finds Papadopoulos. He's going to carry it down the far side. Trying to keep that one in and just has that touch roll too far away from him. And Jamilov's going to try and come quickly the other way now for the Raiders. Karimi touches it with Tari, and he gets that pass right back to him. Nice pass down the line for Pedwell. Pedwell back to Tari. Tari might be going from distance, and he tries to get a shot, but that one gets blocked. Possession continues now for Richmond Hill. Gives it back now in for Tari once again. Again, the Strikers are just very comfortable standing back in their own side and holding their shape and trying to make the Raiders make the runs. There's a huge gap, though, in between the goalkeeper, Carbone, and the Strikers' defense, as a good foot coming in there from Papadopoulos just pokes that ball away for a kick. So might trying to see if they want to poke that ball in between the gap for the Raiders and see if they can catch the Strikers' defense sleeping a little bit. Here comes Karimi. Gives it back to Tari once again. Pekuriev back to Tari. I'm going to switch it on the near side. Karimi. Raiders aren't going anywhere right now as Tari tried to again put that one through the middle, and he's just going to shield that one right to the waiting hands of Jamilov. Finds his man in Pekuriev. Pekuriev's going to switch in here for Karimi. Karimi. So one looking right now, the Raiders are struggling right now, just finding that space in right now. The Strikers once again just closing down that middle, forcing the Raiders go on the wing, and they look like a team who likes to continuously go down that middle. And right now the Strikers aren't giving that space. Papadopoulos, as his defense, Molino leaves that one back in for Carbone. Foster to Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos' touch just gets a little far away from him, and it's going to be Strikers' ball, says the referee. As we have a couple quick switches coming in. Looks like the Strikers are introducing a new striker up top. That's Pekalevsky. He got himself a goal in the semifinal. There's Pekalevsky. It is his first touch there. And it just rolls under his foot and goes out. The futsal ball is a little bit smaller than they're used to on that size 5 ball. Doesn't bounce as much. As the Raiders will bring this one in. It's Hanley on defense now. He's going to play it back to Jamilov. Pekuriev playing it through the middle, trying to find Karimi. Karimi got shoved down. And that's going to be a free kick going for the Raiders. So that's going to be the first foul of the game. And it's going to be going against the Strikers, Papadopoulos, for that shove on Karimi. Pekuriev is going to stand on top of the ball here. He's going to try and play it short, but Pekalevsky's big frame is able to get in the way of that one. Hanley under some pressure. He's able to turn around, and Pekalevsky's going to be called for the foul there. Coach Chimpa telling Pekalevsky, settle down a little bit here, relax here. 2 fouls now. Hanley gets that ball in play. Hanley trying to play it over on the cross side, but gets intercepted by Foster. Foster to Papadopoulos, and he fires that one above the goal. That counter-attack pressure coming in from the strikers, very quick, and their quick touches enable to find those players wide in the open. As Papadopoulos will go on for a quick change as the strikers continue their pressure. That throw a little bit too aggressive coming in from Jamilov, and Pedwell can't control that one. And it's going to be strikers' ball. 15 minutes remaining here. 1-0 for the Unionville Milliken Strikers over the Richmond Hill Raiders and the boys under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup Finals here at the Ontario Soccer Summer presented by Respect in Sport. This match is presented by Toronto FC. They are proud to support youth soccer in Ontario. Toronto FC, premier partner of Ontario Soccer. Your play-by-play commentators Martin Ohms here as this ball is played in play by Molina for the strikers. Foster finds Pekalevsky. He tried to get a good shot. That took a little bit of deflection off the foot of Hanley, and Jamilov makes the save easily. Pekiryov switches it over to Karimi. He hasn't got off the field. As it coming the other way now is Kerbin, and he tries a shot. And that one gets a little bit of a touch, and we have a corner kick coming in. As the referee's going to be having a word with Kerbin here. It's on the tape. The tape's got to be the same color as the socks. So Kerbin's been told to change it, and there's the 3-second violation coming in against the strikers. Play resumes here with the Raiders in possession. Hanley trying to play it in the middle, trying to touch that one over his Wong. Ball finds its way back to Hanley. Shot there, gets blocked by Foster. Foster's been on the court the entire opening 10 minutes. He got that opening goal, and he's been a huge force for these strikers. Wong trying to get a touch, and he's getting some help. It looks like it was a foul going in against the Raiders. I'm not sure if that was just a handball. And it is a foul, the referee Cerns. So that's his first foul coming in for the Raiders in this half. Pekalevsky trying to turn. He fires a low drive, and that one goes into the goal. Sasha Pekalevsky gets that touch in the middle, able to turn around Hanley in a low drive on that right foot. Tons of power, and Jamilov can't dive quick enough to his right to make the save. And the strikers have extended their lead, but trying to come quickly is Wong. Wong cuts aside. There's his first shot. That gets blocked. Hanley able to continue the pressure. The Raiders have had majority of the possession. They just haven't been able to work into any dangerous areas to get any shots onto Carbone in goal yet. Coach Chimpa talking to Pekalevsky there to keep it up, put the pressure, use the frame there as he gets that pass coming in. He's able to chip that one forward. Too strong to find Gamas up top. And Jamilov's going to come in with possession to Hanley. Hanley down the line, a great run coming in from the Raiders. They're just going to try and get across, and that took a deflection and hits off the post. And that one's going to go out for a corner kick. Cordes brings it back to Jamilov, who's come out of his goal, and he tried to go from distance. That's a little bit of a sneaky play there coming in from the goalkeeper. Carbone throws it in short. Kerbin plays it back in. Gamis, his pass trying to get over to the far side. Couldn't find his man. And it'll go out for the Raiders ball. Hanley down the middle. Wong's pass couldn't find Cordes, and there you go. The communication just hasn't been there. Wong had plenty of time, I think, to even turn around and get a good opportunity onto goal there. And he instead played that one out wide. Salvadori. There's Salvadori. Again, the Raiders are keeping possession, though, so if they can find some ways to sneak through the strikers' defense, they can start to challenge that goal of Carbone. There's Hanley. Hanley comes to the inside. Nice trying to play that pass in through. Pekalevsky is there once again to block that pass. And the Raiders will get that kick in. They'll play this one back in for Hanley. He's going to get a second opportunity. This time he finds his man in Cordes. Cordes trying to get to his comfortable foot. Couldn't do so. Hanley. He's going for it, and he tries a little bit of a chip there. Didn't get much on the power there. But Carbone does well to hang on to that one. He finds Pekalevsky. He gets double-teamed right away. And this one's going to stay in play. And some pushing and shoving going both ways. And the grab will get called against Kerbin. And some pushing and shoving going between Salvadori and Kerbin after the whistle. And it's going to be a free kick going for Pekalevsky and the Unionville Strikers. He's going to ask for the space. 11 minutes left to go here in this first half. The Strikers lead 2-0 over the Richmond Hill Raiders. Pekalewski, that takes a deflection and just goes wide of the post. That one hit off of the leg of Cordes in the wall, and that was just enough of a block. Referee's just needing a second just to rearrange the net here before this corner kick's about to be taken in for the Strikers. And it's going to be taken in short. Shot there. The huge crowd in front. And Jamilov was able to make a save. But Gamis was all over in front of Jamilov, not giving him much space. A deep throw from Carboni. Can't keep it in play over on the far side. But nice shot there coming from Palikuno. Trying to get that one in goal. And Gamis got a deflection. But Jamilov staying big. Able to make the chest save. Hanley to Wong. Wong to Cordes. Cordes might get an opportunity, but he gets knocked off the ball by Karabin. And Pekalewski's going to try to go the other way, but Wong gets it back. Wong with the right foot, and he scores! Christopher Wong gets the ball of Pekalewski, and that's all they needed. That's their first opportunity to get a good opportunity. Gets the turnover finally, and he puts it in between Pekalewski's legs, and Carboni couldn't react fast enough as that ball goes into the bottom corner, and the Raiders now make it 2-1 here in this boys under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup final. And that goal is coming in from Christopher Wong. Great job coming in from him. Now let's see if the momentum will shift as the Raiders are not coming in with the pace. Salvadori gets saved by Carboni. A good 1-2. And the Raiders have come elated, and the Strikers are starting to chase the ball a little bit here. Some hard shoving going in both ways. And the foul is going to go for the Raiders as Hanley got brought down by Gamis. Check that. The referee, Alwyn, is going to switch the call, and it's going to go actually in favor of the Strikers. So play's going to resume here with Sang. He's going to bring this one back in for Karabin. Back to Carboni now all the way. Gamis. Trying to see if he has anyone to pass to. He's under some pressure from Wong. He's got no one really here to pass to, though. So he's forced to give it to Jamilov in goal. And here comes the counterattack the other way. Cordes one-on-one. Cordes! And some gray hands coming in from Carboni. Going to his left. And the counterattack pressure is picking up here from the Raiders. They've tactically changed their game. And the Strikers just haven't been able to adjust. And we have the referee reaching to his book here. And it's going to be a yellow card going against the Strikers. And it's going to be Gamis getting the yellow card there. Looked like he went into that challenge maybe a little bit too aggressively for the referee's liking. And he's going to be the first player to enter the book here, and he'll go right into the bench. Play resumes here. Coming back onto the field is Rimple. Rimple and Karabin try to work with it in the back line. And here come the starters back on for the Strikers. Papadopoulos comes right off the bench, and he's going to get that pass. Touches in, Palikuno. Palikuno trying from distance, and that one gets blocked. Here comes Wright now the other way. First time on the court for him. Touches this one back for Tari. Salvadori back for Tari. To Salvadori once again. Salvadori tries to pass that one in, and it's a 2-on-1 break the other way for the Strikers. Shot coming in, it's a goal! Vasily Papadopoulos able to get the turnover, and it's been those key turnovers on those counterattacks. Smart decision from the defender on the 2-on-1 break not to go for the pass. Goes for the shot and finds the far bottom corner past the outstretched legs of Jamilov. And right away you can see that momentum switching right back in the Strikers' favor. And that's what you see with futsal. It's quick, both ways, back and forth. And it was Papadopoulos with a great strike into that far corner. He gets that ball right back. 2 green jerseys off from him. We've seen the Raiders trying to put on a bit of more of a full court press. As this one gets in for Rimple, tries to get that corner cross, put it right back in, and it will go out for a corner kick. This one's going for Papadopoulos, and his shot goes in. And here we're going to have a timeout being called here with 6:15 remaining here on the clock as the Raiders are going to use their timeout as they're down 3-1. Each team is allowed 1 timeout here on each half. The Raiders using theirs after that momentum just constantly switching back and forth. The Raiders when Wong got that goal, they really started to put in more of a full court press onto the Strikers defense, but then by doing that, they got themselves out of position, and Papadopoulos made them pay to get that goal. And right away, you see the Raiders starting to panic a little bit in their back line, and right away, Coach Salvadori recognizes that and uses his one timeout to try to see if he can settle down his team, get them back into shape, get them back into the possession form that we saw in that first half. At this time, we've got to make sure we thank you to Ontario Soccer Partner, Soccer Express, for their first-class support. As Canada's premier dealer, Soccer Express is everything needed to take your game to the next level. Visit www.soccerx.com to check out the latest gear from Adidas, Nike, Puma, Admiral, and more. That is SoccerX. Timeout is completed with 6:14 left on the clock. The Strikers lead the game 3-1 here in the Boys Under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup Final here at the Seneca College in North York, Ontario. The Raiders, though, have the ball, and they're going to try and see if they can cut down the scoreline right before this half. So a little bit of a tactical switch. They're trying to get the striker to hang in behind the defense here for the Raiders. Papadopoulos carrying this ball up. He's got a lot of confidence from the defensive line. He finds a great pass over, and that shot coming in from Molino gets touched over the bar by Jamiloff in goal, and it's a corner kick. If there's a player to highlight right now, that is Papadopoulos. Lots of confidence to carry that ball up, and Molino made that great run, coming in behind, getting behind the two Raiders defenders once again to get that pass. Papadopoulos has two green jerseys off him. Does he succeed to hit off of one of the players? No, he does not, and it's going to be Raiders' ball. Karimi going to play this one short to his goal. 1-2 there. He's going to switch it now over to the near side for Tari. Tari trying to find right down the line. That one gets intercepted, but the possession will resume here with Shane's on. Shane's on, trying to go in through as Karimi was trying to do what the Strikers are doing and trying to make that run over on the far side. But right away, the Strikers recognize that and close down that run. Wright takes a tumble, and Kipple's coming the other way. He gets a touch, saved, rebound, saved once again. Rimple didn't get much onto the first shot there, but he got all that second one. But staying up big in goal was Jamiloff to make the save on Rimple. Shane's on, playing this one in short for Tari. Tari down in for Wright. Wright trying to pass the one back on the outside. And again, Strikers just giving Wright, just having one player on him. And Wright maybe should start to play with that ball a little bit more in that space in the middle if he's given it. Jamiloff goes in for Tari. Finds Wright. Wright trying to turn with it. That ball just hasn't been able to sit on his foot right now. And it's going to be Papadopoulos putting this one in. Molino chips this one in. Great touch coming in from the defenders as they play this one down the line. Can't find that run of Sang. And it'll go out for a goalie's ball as we're going to have a switch up top. John Dimitri, first time seeing him on the court. He's going to be tasked with being a nuisance. It looks like he's going to be more of a cherry picker, it looks like. Just hanging in behind the defense, staying in between Carbone and the defense and see if they can find him. Tari to Karimi. Karimi finds Dimitri. Dimitri tries to switch it over to Shane's on, couldn't. As that shot coming in from Tari. And Tari looks like he got an elbow to the stomach after that collision. And it looks like he got the wind knocked out of him there. And he's going to come off for a quick few seconds. And Hanley will come in to take him off as we'll take a look on Tari to make sure he's okay. Turnover here. Here comes a 2-on-1. And that pass goes in behind Sang as Rimple took a little bit too much time, and the Raiders now try to come down the other way. Dimitri in for Hanley, and that chip goes up higher and exchanges the hands of Carbone. 3 minutes left to go here in this first half. 3-1 is the score for the Strikers. Rimple goes all the way back to Molino. Papadopoulos. He's carried in the back. He's trying to force that pass up the middle, but Shane's on, able to get it, but not get control for Richmond Hill. Sang, try to get it over to Rimple. Rimple just couldn't keep it on the touchline, and Hanley's now going to go for Richmond Hill. Can't turn around there was Dimitri. Rimple does well. He gets through two players. He tries a shot, and that's a good strike. And Shamilov has to dive to his left, and Jamilov's telling his defenders, come on, close down the middle. Give him the wings if you have to, but you got to close down that middle. Rimple with a high chip up, trying to switch it over. Kept in. There's Foster coming right off the bench, and he tried to get involved. Couldn't do so. Now Dimitri with the right-footed strike, but it's a straight to the chest of Carbone. And that's what the Raiders need. Opportunities like that. They've been given some good looks onto goal. They haven't been able to take them, and Dimitri did well to get that opportunity onto goal. Molino can't find anywhere going forwards. Papadopoulos to Foster. Foster able to find Molino, and back and forth passes unintentional though. And Jamilov's able to put this one back in. Pekurioff with a great ball in. Trying to get around, and he does! Karimi gets the finish. And that's the pass they were looking for. And coming right off the bench, Pekurioff able to find Karimi up top. And Karimi just gets it by the outstretched arms of Carbone in goal and slides it into the goal. And it's a huge goal. And before the halftime break, it's now 3-2 for Unionville. But the Raiders, that is what they've been looking for since the timeout. And Karimi gave it to them. Pekurioff back to Karimi. Look at these nice 1-2 passes. Karimi and Pekurioff working very well together right now, finding each other in space. But here comes Foster now, trying to see if he can come the other way. Foster able to get the crossover. That gets blocked. Rimple just shot. That stopped by Hanley. Still trying to get it cleared away. And it's going to be going to the team in red. That ball didn't go in play, but it's still going to be the Raiders' ball all the way back to where that ball just went out. Can they get one more chance before the halftime buzzer? Nice pass. Karimi tries again, and Carbone just gets the foot off. And like I said, Pekurioff and Karimi have changed the game. And there will go the halftime buzzer here at the Boys Under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup Championships here at the Seneca College in North York, Ontario. And going into the break, it is Richmond Hill Raiders 3, Unionville Milliken Strikers 2. Well, we're just going to have a couple-minute break here, guys. Enjoy the break. We'll be back with you guys in just a few minutes. And welcome back, everyone, to the Seneca College in North York, Ontario for the second half in the Boys Under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup Final between the Unionville Milliken Strikers as they lead 3-2 over the Richmond Hill Raiders. This teams will switch sides, so the Strikers are in your red. They're going from your right to your left on your screens back at home, and the Raiders are in the green, going from your left to your right. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Martin Ohms, here, as the Raiders will get action underway here in these final 25 minutes. As Pekirioff, right off the break, tries to get a shot onto Carbone, and Carbone does well to make a save. The Raiders want to come out in force. They are down by one, but got a huge goal right before the halftime break, and they want to continue that momentum. The goals were scored by Papadopoulos, Foster, and Pekalevsky for the Strikers. Wong and Karimi got the important goal right before the break for the Raiders. So just remember, playing 25 minutes, the game does remain tied. After these remaining 25 minutes, we go straight to the kicks from the penalty spot. It's a dangerous pass there. Papadopoulos is able to recover for his teammates. His pass, though, gets intercepted by Hanley. He's finding Dimitri. Dimitri trying to hustle his way in through. But coming out of his goal is Carbone, and he's going to scoop that ball up. Papadopoulos down the near side in for Karabin. Karabin bringing down the line, touches in. Pekalevsky going to his right foot, and that one just took a deflection. We've seen the power coming out from his foot, and that one was a very dangerous opportunity once again. Papadopoulos tries to get one in. Pass. Did that go in? That hit off the crossbar. Unbelievable. I thought that one just got under the bar, but Karabin didn't get it in. But Papadopoulos did a shot pass, you like to call it, as he knew Karabin was making that run over the first time. Karabin just got the foot onto that one, but deflected it off the crossbar. And to an action here in futsal. The fouls again are reset back at zeros. So the teams are allowed 5 fouls each. If the 6th one is called, they'll get a straight penalty kick from the second penalty mark. As Karabin's going to get this ball. Pass it back to Papadopoulos. Pekalevsky tries to work with it, and he's able to find a man over on the far side. That is Rimple. Rimple, though, gets to take it away from him, and Karimi's going to try and go the other way. Karimi tries a shot, and a diving block coming in from Pekalevsky as he's able to get in front of that one, and it goes for a Richmond Hill corner. Little 1-2 for the Raiders, and they're forced to come all the way back in goal. We've seen Jamilov not afraid to come up on corners, and he's there once again. Hanley down the near side, Pekirioff. Pekirioff still trying to go with the left foot. We've seen him. He's got a ton of power on that left foot. Just goes wide onto that one, and he's going to go to the goalie's ball. He said the Richmond Hill Raiders had a very interesting round. Just in the preliminary rounds, had to go to penalty kicks to make it here. But they've succeeded through these final stages here to make it here to the final before defeating London Athletic here earlier today. Unionville Milliken defeated London AGFC here just before this match here to make it to the final. And had some strong games against Wexford, London Athletic, and the Toronto Futsal Club. As Papadopoulos comes in through, he just gets that one a low drive, and just getting the toes onto that one was Jamilov, as he's able to steer that one aside. There has been one yellow card in the match. George Gamis for the Strikers picked up a yellow card for an elbow here. It was about midway through the first half. As the Strikers have been continuing with the possession in, and the Raiders, when they shifted towards full court press, the game kind of opened up a much more. They created more chances, but the Strikers had more chances themselves. So we're going to see if they're going to try and continue that attempt there. But right now, they're just sitting in their own half and giving the Strikers the space in their own end, and just trying to hold the shape. Screen ball over as Karabin got the last touch on that one. There's going to be a couple touches in as Cordes is trying to see if he can come in to the court. Hanley, his pass gets blocked by Pekalevsky. This could be dangerous. He tries to get a little bit too fancy there, though. And back and forth, the Strikers will resume possession with Rimple. Karabin, Pekalevsky. Right away to Papadopoulos. He's got a ton of space, and he drives, but Hanley gets in front of as well. A second chance there. And it looks like it did take a touch off of a Richmond Hill player, and it's going to go for a corner kick. Pekalewski, man, that was a ton of power onto that one. And right away, if you're the Raiders, you don't want to be giving that type of space on the point if you're knowing not much power is coming in. And one little deflection, and there's no way Jamilov is going to be able to react in time to save that. Bekirov brings it back now for Hanley. Hanley to Salvadori, who's come on. Trying to find Cordes up top, couldn't find so. Once again, the Raiders trying to get in touch, and he can't control it, though. In the back line, and Karabin is going to get that ball right away. Pekalewski finds Rimple. Rimple is trying to find anywhere to go to. Try to force up the middle. That's a dangerous one, but Cordes doesn't get a good opportunity there. And it goes straight to the hands of Carboni. He's going to loop this one up forward. Hanley gets a foot onto that one. It's going to continue to bounce around. It's finally settled in by Wong. Salvadori in for Wong. Wong tries to go, and he just goes wide. Changes coming in both ways as Karabin tries to toe the line, and it just goes out right before it would become the goalie's ball, and it'll be right in the corner. So it's a very dangerous area there, but the Raiders do well to play that one quick to get themselves in an area where they can get contained and get a turnover. Cordes. Salvadori trying to get a low drive. That would have been great if Wong was able to make that run. Just was a little bit late, but if Wong was coming in on that far post, he was unmarked, and that would have been a tap-in for sure. Palikuno finds a man, and it's Karabin! And a miscommunication in the back line, and it's a goal coming in for Karabin. And the Strikers have doubled their lead once again. It's now 4-2. As it's Trevor Karabin from a great pass coming in from Jacob Palikuno. And the back splits in between everybody by every single player. And it's Karabin lurking in behind the defense to put that one in home. Here it comes Richmond Hill the other way. And Carboni just gets a toe onto that one. He was outside of his penalty area right there, so he couldn't pick up that ball. So he did well just to shut down that oncoming run coming in from Cordes. Tari, he's back on. We haven't seen him since he got that elbow to the stomach. Nice to see him back on. As that kick from Jamilov a little bit too strong. And it's going to be Carboni in goal with some time. He's going to throw this one in for Karabin, who just got that goal. He tried to back heel that one in for his player. That was Molino coming in behind him. Some pushing and shoving going into Molino and Curtis. And that's going to be a foul right there as Molino brings him down. And Molino's got to be very careful in here, as that was a very reckless challenge coming in from behind the play, as they were pushing and shoving for a good couple seconds and before that play was coming in, and the retaliation was right in front when the ball did come in. It's going to be a free kick coming in for Vasily Cordes. He's got two players coming in on the far post. Tari on the shore. He's going to try to go for goal. Carboni makes the save, as that was a strike right at him. And Carboni did well to jump up, get the body in behind, and keep that one away from a good rebound. I personally would have liked him to touch that one in for Tari. Tari had a ton of space to set up and make a chance to get an opportunity. Cordes. And for Molino. Molino gets in for Karabin. Palikuno. Foster. Foster's under some pressure. Key turnover. Salvadori touches it over. Curtis couldn't put that one in. Richmond Hill looking for a foul. Didn't look like there was one there, though. It just looked like Curtis just overran that one. And play's going to resume as Foster got a little bit lucky. But if I was Richmond Hill, I would continue with this full court press. They've been able to get some turnovers in. Karabin getting told to give a little bit more space as that pass gets turned over, and Foster almost was able to go the other way, couldn't do so. Wong down the line for Curtis. Trying to get it back in for Wong. He goes to Salvadori, and he can't get much onto that one as Carboni was able to get to that one. Foster trying to slow it down now for Palikuno. And again, Richmond Hill's got to get up there. They got a bench. Give it whatever you got left. And it's going to be played all the way back. The goalie was outside of his penalty area. And it's going to be a free kick for Richmond Hill. Referee makes sure he gets the space in here. This is a great opportunity for the Raiders. There's a touch, and it looks like Palikuno made that save as he fell down making that one. But that's what you do if you're a defender. You put that body on the line to get in front of that ball. Ball gets played in now for Molino. 15 minutes remaining here in the second half. 4-2 for the Unionville Milliken Strikers over the Richmond Hill Raiders. As Papadopoulos tries to get that one in. And Jamiloff didn't look like he wanted to touch that one, but he just got a piece of it. And it goes out for a corner kick. This one goes all the way back. And it's going to come in from one corner kick to another. And it's going to be the Raiders getting one now the other side. Brings it back now in for Jamiloff. Touches out of it for Tari, and his can't control that one was Tari. And it goes out for the Strikers. Nice little 1-2 with his keeper, and Papadopoulos is going to bring this in the middle. He gets intercepted, but Papadopoulos does well to win it back. Molino, top corner! And it's Christopher Molino, and he puts a huge insurance goal for the Strikers. And once again, it's Vasily Papadopoulos not giving up on the play, wins it back for his team, gets that pass over to Molino, and that one, picture perfect into the top corner. Right over the shoulder of Jamiloff. And like I said, a huge insurance goal. The Raiders got to continue here. Can they get one back? And Wong almost got to that one as he just missed the far corner. Experts in the field of youth concussion, Holland Bloorview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital formed a collaboration with Ontario Soccer. This partnership will improve concussion awareness and education to ensure the improved safety of youth soccer players across the province. That is Holland Bloorview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital. Curtis trying to yell at his team, telling them, guys, let's go, let's pick it up here. Let's get the pace in. And this one will go all the way back to Jamiloff. He finds his man in, is right, and he just loses the ball on his foot. And by losing his footing, he just gets a touch onto the goalkeeper there. He apologizes. He just lost his balance there. And it's going to be a foul going in for Wright. That's their first foul of the half. Like we've been noticing, not many fouls here in between these two teams all tournament. And a nice turn there from Papadopoulos. He just fans him on that one. Molino to Sang. Back in for Molino. Plays a pass down there. No red jersey in sight, though. And the Raiders will get to it. And once we've been seeing them put that pressure on the defense, and that's what they need to do, they've been able to get some good turnovers. And if the Raiders, you're down by a few goals, they got to try to put more pressure. Here we have some new bodies coming on the field. That's Karimi and Bekirov coming on. We'll look to them to continue to go forward. Looks like they're going... Looks like that's 3 forwards up top. Now, Karimi, we've seen up top. Looks like he's playing more of a defensive role, but we've seen him go up top, so the Raiders trying to go offensive now. Foster trying to cut inside. Foster gets a good crack, but a little bit too much power, not enough accuracy there, and it just goes wide. And if you're the Raiders right now, you have that timeout. You might look to take that. Figure out what your game plan is in these final few minutes. There's Wright. Wright's trying to turn around. There's a foot coming in from Papadopoulos, and it just goes out. Like I said, if I got to have a player of the game so far, it would be Vasily Papadopoulos. Ball gets stuck in the bleachers, so fortunately we always have a second ball ready. As Karimi does well to get around that attacker. And Carboni just gets that throw in. And it's a nice touch there. I don't know how he got that shot away with Papadopoulos. Jamiloff was forced to react quickly to make that save as a quick touch there from Foster finds Molino, and his shot goes wide of the goal. Hanley down the line for Karimi. Karimi, look for him, Bekirov, to be that catalyst to get the Raiders get that one goal right back. Goes all the way back now in for Hanley once again. Hanley finds Karimi. Karimi gets it in right. Just couldn't make that run in time. The ball will be brought into play in here. Looks like the Raiders are going to use their timeout at the next time that ball comes out of play. As you have a timeout being called by the Raiders. 10:21 left to go on the clock. The Raiders have used their single timeout. They're down 5-2. 10 minutes to go, though. Still plenty of time. If they want to, they just need to get one in these next few minutes to get themselves back in this game. But it's all Unionville Strikers right now as they're continuing to try and see if they can take home this boys under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup. Sports Engine is the official technology partner of Ontario Soccer and the leading provider of sport life management tools for youth and amateur sports. Check out sportsengine.com to see how they can keep your club running in stride on and off the pitch this season. I'd like to, of course, thank the Ontario Soccer Summer. We're here live at the Ontario Soccer Summer here at the Seneca College. It's being presented by Respect in Sport. Visit www.respectinsport.com for more information. They've had some great keynote speakers here throughout this entire weekend. Some great talks in here for all clubs here in Ontario to get some very valuable information on how to improve their clubs, improve their play in here. And it's being closed down by this final futsal club final. The Raiders will resume with possession of the ball. It's going to be Prokhorov. Finds Karimi. Let's see what have the Raiders changed in the timeout. What we're going to see from them as Wright is trying to hustle his way to get himself open. As that ball finds its way back to Prokhorov, and he gets kicked down by Papadopoulos. And it's going to be a free kick for the Raiders. Prokhorov gets it back for Jamilov. Jamilov trying to go from distance. And that one was a little bit interesting. It looked like Carboni wasn't a little too sure if that was going to go wide or not. There's Foster, and Wright is doing that job. He's going to try and put the pressure on. And there they go. They get this on-man rush coming the other way. And Prokhorov couldn't get that pass through as Papadopoulos is there. And he shuts down that door once again. Back to Jamilov. Switches it over now to Hanley. Hanley's going to try and get a shot in, blocked by Sang. That pass can't find its way in through. Hanley's still trying to get to it, and it's going to be Richmond Hill ball. Hanley, as we have fouls going both ways, as Sang came in a little too aggressively. And right away, this is what Richmond Hill looks for, as Unionville starting to panic a little bit on these passes, starting to get a little bit more physical, and they got to watch those fouls. They don't want to allow Richmond Hill to get back in this game. Pekalevsky, though, gets that ball. He's going to continue to go for it. He gets a good shot by Hanley. Gets in front of that one, and it goes out for a corner kick. Taking their time, Unionville trying to kill as much of the clock as they can. As Pekalevsky's going to try and bring this one, and he's going to bring it all the way back in for Foster. Foster has Carboni on the shirt, but gives it back to Pekalevsky. Gives a try to find Foster, but Wright read that one. He gets knocked down by Foster. That's 4 now for the Strikers. The Raiders have done well as they get a player in behind Prokhorov, and Carboni gets down. The ball is still loose, and a huge save from Carboni. Able to get to his right to make the save. As Prokhorov did well to not give up on the play there, to get a shot on to goal. And this is what we've been wanting to see from the Raiders. Get more possession, get more attacking, and be more forceful to try to get that ball off. Because when we've seen the Strikers under a little bit more pressure, the Raiders have done well to force some turnovers. And there we go, another one right there. Pekalevsky try to get a little bit fancy there, and it goes up for Raiders ball. Hanley did well to get away from that attack. He's going to go from distance, and he gets it under the diving goalkeeper. And the defender, Michael Hanley, pulled one back. 7:20 left to go. The Raiders have some life in with Michael Hanley. He finally gets one through off the point and gets under the diving arms of Alessio Carboni in goal. And it's 5-3 now. And if you're Unionville right now, you're going to be looking at that timeout card, trying to see if you're going to start playing it soon if the Raiders continue this pressure, trying to see if you could kill this momentum a little bit coming in from the Raiders. Strikers trying to settle it down now. Karabin back in for Foster. Finds Rimple. Back in for Foster. He gets around his player. Wide open is Pekalevsky. And he gets under the ball and fires it over the goal. That's what we've been seeing from Foster all game long. Carries it in through the near side. Carries that ball over to the outside and plays that ball right to where he just was. And there's a player wide open every single time. There's a high ball in. That's not going to get to anybody but the hands of Carboni. And he tried to go quickly the other way, but Pekalevsky is able to get it. Rimple. He has some time. He gets a shot, but that gets blocked in by Hanley, and he'll go out for Unionville ball. This one gets touched back in for Karabin. Plays it in for Foster. Pekarov is able to get that one off as Hanley gets it over to Karimi. Karimi's trying to find someone to pass to. Has to go all the way back to Hanley, and they are able to play a 1-2. Now Karimi has some space. Karimi, though, loses the ball in his feet, though. Looked up, lost that ball. But the Raiders are able to keep possession, and Karimi is able to get to it. Karimi trying to find right. Good battle in front, and Foster does well to get out of it. And that touch coming in from Karabin just couldn't be controlled then by Rimple, and the Raiders are trying to see, with 5 minutes left to go here in the Boys Under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup Final, can they pull this one back? Pekarov gets a nice pass in for Karimi. Saved by Carbone. Good pressure there from Pekarov. He's able to give him that one off. Karimi's trying to settle this ball, and he gets knocked down. The referee says no way. And the play will resume the other way with Rimple. And that one just takes a deflection off of Hanley and out for a corner. Richmond Hill trying to see if they can win a foul. Any chance they can get, though, right now. Papadopoulos with a bit of a howitzer. Didn't get much onto that one onto goal, but some good power coming in there. Quickly played in, and it goes now in for Hanley. Hanley's going to chip this one over to Pekarov. He has Wong in front, and Wong just tried to get to that one, but Papadopoulos did well to shield him away. And here comes the Strikers the other way, and there comes that power coming in for Pekalevsky, but he just couldn't get that one onto goal. We've seen that power, and that's what led to his goal earlier in the first half from Pekalevsky, but he wasn't able to do it this time. Papadopoulos back for Carboni. If you're Carboni, honestly, you just try to play with it back on the defense as much as you can. You want the Raiders to come to you. And the Raiders right now, it looks like a little bit of some tired legs. They've played 4 games already this week, and the 5th game might just be catching up to them right now on this clock. Pekalevsky trying to get into his way in through. And looks like Salvadori took a bit of a tumble, but it's going to be the Strikers' ball over on the far side. Touched in. Here comes Karabin. Back in for Rimple. Rimple trying to work his way in through Salvadori. Can't get it, and now it goes all the way back into the defensive line. Nice ball in from Harley. Just gets off the head of Karabin, straight to the waiting hands of Carboni and goal. Here comes Karabin the other way. Touches in for Rimple. He wants that return pass, does Karabin, and he's able to get to it, but he wasn't able to pull this trigger. Now Rimple gets it. Wong gets right onto him, and he's able to get through the 2 defenders. Rimple still going his way in through, but it's finally Hanley who is able to poke that one aside, and it goes out for a corner kick. All the way back to Pekalevsky. You don't want to give him time, and that is why you do not want to give Sasha Pekalevsky that much space and time, but he just fires that one over the goal. .225 remaining in the second half, and it is 5-3. Is a little bit of a push coming in. Papadopoulos looking for a call. Referee not going to give it. As Carboni is going to throw this one in. Touched back by Gamis. And it's looped up forward for Papadopoulos. Great control from him as he tried to get it, something going forward, and Wong comes now the other way. Wong gets shoved off the ball, and Papadopoulos put a little bit of shoulder in there. And that's going to be 5 fouls now for the Strikers. 1 more, and it's a penalty kick. You got to be careful as Jamilov's going to try and go for goal. Didn't get that one onto the net of Carbone. It looks like the Strikers are going to use their 1 timeout with maybe about a minute left in here, trying to see if they can kill any momentum, try to give a little bit of strategy what to do in the final minute. Damas touched it in for Karabin. It's a 2-on-1 break. He has Rimple, but he tries to go for goal, and Jamilov does well to make the save. Touch it back for Rimple. Nice little quick passing coming in from Unionville. Still hustling forward. Rimple comes out with it, finds Karabin, and he just couldn't get that touch onto goal. Hanley in for Shanezon. Shanezon in for Salvador. Salvador loses his footing, and Unionville tries to poke forward the other way. Wong, though, gets control of that ball. Strikers are just sitting back. They don't want to try. They're going to try and do everything to make sure they do not touch a Raider player. Hanley tries to go towards goal. That takes a deflection, and it's going to be Unionville ball. And with 25 seconds left to go in, Unionville Strikers are going to use their single timeout. Relax here, try to get some time going in. But with few moments to go, Unionville Milliken Strikers lead 5-3 over the Richmond Hill Raiders. And there's a boys under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup final here at the Seneca College in North York, Ontario. And the Strikers are just moments away from winning this cup final. They've had a long journey. They won their opening group match against Wexford, tied London Athletic, who Richmond Hill beat in their semifinal game to get here, and then they defeated the Toronto Futsal Club in their final group stage match. In their semifinal game earlier today, they defeated London AGFC in a 7-1 scoreline. They held control of that game. It was a tight game. It was 1-1 most of the game. In the second half, Unionville just blew it apart, and they just came one right after the other. And they've continued that momentum here in this cup final. So the play will resume in here with Unionville with the ball. And action's going to go right away in here with Rimple. Rimple able to hit it off of one of the Richmond Hill players. And Papadopoulos just taking as much time as they can as they play a little 1-2 in the back line. They force a turnover. And here comes Pekurov trying to get to the left foot. Carbone makes the save. Ball still loose. And the Strikers just kick it away. The Raiders doesn't look like they're going to get one more chance in. And there goes the final buzzer. Your boys under 16 Ontario Futsal Cup champions, the Unionville Milliken Strikers, with a 5-3 victory over the Richmond Hill Raiders. Congratulations to Coach Chimpa and his squad. Played very strong hand and good heads up, and congratulations for the Raiders making it here all the way to this cup final. Held in very strong here, gave a very competitive match, and they just couldn't keep up with the pressure. Congratulations to both teams, but again, the Strikers are your boys under 16 Ontario Futsal Championships. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in here for the live stream. This has been Martin Ohms here with the commentary for this match. I hope you enjoyed everything. And I think, are we streaming the trophy presentation? All right, looks like we're going through forward. So if you want to make sure all the photos from this match will be available on the Ontario Soccer Facebook page, provided by Martin Basil Photography. So if you want to get all your great shots coming in from this match, make sure to check in on the Ontario Soccer page. And this has been Martin Ohms here for the commentary, as everything will be presented right now. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.